Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to the NoDQ review here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRift NoDQ. On NoDQ Live, I had joked about banning Virtue from the NoDQ review, and he took offense to that. He decided to protest. He's like, you know what? You cannot fire me because I quit, that sort of thing. He's not here, obviously. In his place, though, I did make a phone call, and joining us tonight from south of the border, we have El Virtuoso back on the NoDQ review. How is it going, Senor?
Hey, what's up? And this isn't the first time I've had to be on the show because of issues with Virtue, but I am in Mexico City hanging out with Rey Mysterio Jr. before he has to go back to the WWE. And it is awesome, Aaron Rift. Thank you for having me on. I just need to know two things. Who are these cats? Not the ones in your house, these other guys.
Right. Well, I was about to get to that. So let me introduce his return to NoDQ review after a vacation in Germany. Welcome back, Big G. How's it going, man?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be back here on the review. First time with El Virtuoso. TJS, good to see you again. Aaron, good to see you again. Had long flights back to Germany and back to the States, but I am here.
Did you stop to Spain?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Unfortunately, I did not.
All right. And we got TGS here with us, too. How's it going, man?
Yeah. Well, Jeff, I know how you feel, man, with the whole jet lag. When I went over to Japan, it was like a 13-hour flight, just 13 hours of being in the air. I mean, I'd rather watch Raw for 13 hours, and that's saying a lot. But Raw was good this week. It was noteworthy. We got a very loaded week in news, so let's talk about it. Take it away, Mr. Rift.
All right, so on Raw this week, we had the latest reunion of D-Generation X, so it is official. Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement at the upcoming Crown Jewel show in Saudi Arabia. So the question is, do you guys like the DX reunion, or do you think they would be better off just being a team without the DX gimmick? And you could just give me your overall thoughts on Shawn wrestling again and the whole match that has now been set up for Crown Jewel on November 2nd. So, TJS, let's start with you. Your thoughts.
Well, going into this, I was not a big fan of Shawn coming out of retirement. But now that I've thought about it, and now that Shawn actually gave a good reason about how he does not respect The Undertaker, and he pretty much just doesn't give a damn, I think it's okay for him to come out of retirement. And I think, as much as I want him to just do singles matches, I think he has to be a part of DX for this because, as DX, they're the rule breakers, and he's not honoring his retirement anymore because he's in DX, and he's just like, Triple H is the boss. We can just do what we want. So I guess I'm okay with it. I don't think the match is going to be spectacular, but, maybe this opens up the door for Shawn to work other matches. I read on NoDQ.com that he could be working WrestleMania 35. We'll see what happens. Big G, what do you think?
Man, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I'm glad that Shawn Michaels is coming out. Like you said on Raw last night, he doesn't respect The Undertaker anymore. Triple H doesn't respect The Undertaker anymore. And as soon as I heard those three words, "Are you ready?" I was like, yes, I am ready for another DX reunion. Always been a big fan of DX. So to answer Aaron's question, even if people will still chant DX, even if they didn't have the DX gimmick. So that's what I think. El Virtuoso?
DX broke up and got back together again. So Shawn Michaels, I watched Raw. I see he wears a little cowboy hat. What happened to his hair? It's gone?
Yep. So
this is a completely different Shawn Michaels. This is Shawn Michaels, the trainer, Shawn Michaels. And it's DX. They're not just doing Triple H the game and HBK Shawn Michaels, which is the one that The Undertaker retired. This is the DX team. So to me, that kind of saves the retirement a little bit. Now, granted, if Shawn goes on and wrestles one-on-one at Mania, then he basically busted the Undertaker whatever that gimmick was. What WrestleMania was that? 26.
Yep.
26.
So it's a gimmick. It's in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel, and it's DX. So I think it's fine. And they're making money, right, Aaron? Aren't they making tons of money from this?
They sure are, and I guess that money talked, and Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement after 8.5 years. Like I've said before, I have mixed feelings about it. Part of me thinks he just should have stayed retired, but at the same time, if he does wrestle Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, then maybe it could be great. We'll have to see how things play out in Saudi Arabia at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. So, what do you guys think about that new merchandise with the DX and the skeleton hands?
It looked pretty sweet. Actually, too sweet. What do you guys think? It seems funny on that picture. They have the Brothers of Destruction, and then they have Triple H and Shawn Michaels, but they have Triple H now, but then they have Shawn Michaels with the hair and the ponytail. Do you think they don't like Shawn Michaels without the hair? Is that why they're trying to have the Saudis? Hey, this is what Shawn Michaels look like, but when he gets there, he's gonna be bald.
Big G, you know what? Triple H, when he went bald, it was in the corporate direction with the suit and tie. Shawn's still Shawn. So I think him not having that hair is a bigger deal than when Triple H cut his off. You know what I mean? That's what I think. But I don't watch as much as you guys do.
I mean, Shawn Michaels' whole gimmick is sexy boy, and you can't be a sexy boy without those long locks, right? I mean,
well,
he's the sexy man now, I guess.
Well, as they say, bald is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll know soon, it seems.
Well, pretty soon you'll be like me. You know, you got a little bit of time, hopefully, for your case. All right, so let's move on here. Let's talk about one of the big segments on this week's show. That was the heel turn of the Bellas, turning against Ronda Rousey, and now it is official. Nikki Bella will challenge Ronda for the Raw Women's Championship at Evolution. It has sparked some controversy online. I don't have an issue with it. I know some people do. I would actually like to see Nikki win the title just to piss off the internet fans that don't like the Bellas. I think this is great. I think the Bellas are natural at being heels. I say play up on the controversy. Let them go out there and do their thing and just be cocky and arrogant, brag about how they changed the business. They're the real reason for the evolution. That's heel heat as far as I'm concerned. But I want to get your guys' thoughts. Big G, let's start with you. Your thoughts on the Bellas going heel. Do you like the idea of Nikki being the challenger for Ronda?
I do. Nikki, she has improved over the years. Brie, I mean, she had her moments with the botches and here and there, but that's because she hasn't wrestled in a while. I feel like that Ronda now has a credible opponent. No offense to Alexa, Nia, and the Riot Squad, but I feel Nikki has the experience. She was the longest reigning Divas champion before. I think she still might be the longest reigning Divas champion. And I'm like I said, I'm fine with it. You might be right. Nikki might win the title. My friend even said he wants to see Nikki win the title again, and that way Ronda can chase it and build up her credibility even more as a baby face. TJS, what do you think?
Well, I mean, there's one logic hole in this. I know I'm not supposed to apply logic to WWE, but why is Nikki getting this match, and why is Brie okay with it? Because they both equally beat down Ronda. So why isn't Brie saying, hey, I want this match, not Nikki?
Brie's the longest reigning champion. I think my issue, too, was that why does Nikki just automatically get a title match because of attacking her? Shouldn't she have to, win a match to get a title opportunity? I don't know.
The Bellas should have a match to determine. I don't know, but...
Maybe...
oh, sorry, what?
Maybe she still has a connection to John Cena, so she gets whatever she wants.
They were seen in a shopping center in Australia, so I don't know. I think that I just think it's weird that, like you said, Nikki just beats up Ronda, so now she gets a title match. I don't know. I just hope that Nikki throws the forearm because she does have a pretty nice right forearm. But I think it'll be a good match and everything. I just wish that there was more build-up other than just the Bellas beat Ronda up and now there's the match.
Well, I just got to say, Nikki has quite a few nice things. But anyways, El Virtuoso, you want to give us any other thoughts on this?
Last time I was on one of these videos, I remember Nia Jax, who was the champion, challenged Ronda Rousey, right? So the champion challenge. So to me, Rousey gets attacked. This is her way of challenge. She's going to beat up the Bellas for doing that, Nikki in specific. So I don't see anything different about this than that. Did we all complain about Nia challenging the challenger, which is weird?
Yeah.
I don't remember back that far, but I don't have a problem with it because Ronda's going to retain anyway. I don't see Nikki winning this. Matter of fact, I can even see Bree trying to get involved and the refs knocked out. And I know this is getting ahead of ourselves, but I probably won't be on a review video or a preview video. The double armbar thing to both the Bellas. I see it happening.
Oh, man.
Well, see, yeah. I think we might see a little bit of twin magic, and maybe Nikki wins the title in controversial fashion when Bree comes in, when Nikki's under the ring or something.
Is Bree going to stuff the bra again? She's done that before.
She might, yeah. That would make it a little bit more believable, you know? But anyways,
they would have to dress the same too. So
yeah, we'll see how things play out over the next couple of weeks with that. Let's talk about the return of Kurt Angle to Monday Night Raw. Baron Corbin was duped by Senor Angle. Now El Virtuoso. This segment was right up your alley. Where were you for this? You should have been part of this battle royal.
You know, I wish. You know, I met Kurt Angle way back in like 2002. We chatted for like 15 seconds when I asked him for an autograph. But anyway, this was fantastic because if I remember correctly, they did the little play with Heath Slater in the back. Now, if you looked closely, you could tell the way he stands, the way his build is, that was Kurt Angle, if you were really good. But, you know, some people that aren't that keen probably thought, hey, is that Heath trying to get into the match? I liked it. It was brilliant. Way to bring Kurt back. And you know what? He didn't do much, but he looked kind of sharp. And when he took the gimmick off, right, he didn't look too spent. Maybe he got in some better shape during this 6 weeks off or whatever. So it was fantastic. Kudos to Baron Corbin, too. I love the way he sold this, pouting, sitting against the barrier on the outside. I was entertained. This was a very, to me, Vince Russo-heavy Monday Night Raw, except he has nothing to do with wrestling anymore.
All right.
But my point is, Aaron, we're excited. People are excited about things that happened on Raw.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, right? Stuff like this is missed.
I agree. It was a lot of fun. Big G, anything you would like to add to that?
I enjoyed it. You know, like you mentioned yesterday, it was a fun segment. You had all these different gimmicks from different countries. Then you had Los Conquistador, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And you could tell, I could tell when you looked at his boots that those were Kurt Angle boots. That was a dead giveaway. The second giveaway was his build. And the third giveaway was when he was outside standing.
When he took his mask off?
No. When you could see his neck. You could tell his neckline that it was Kurt Angle.
That was a broken freaking neck, man.
And then obviously when he did the German suplexes in the Angle Slam, then you definitely knew it was Kurt Angle. And when
dancing was good too, Big G. Yeah, dancing and the cucaracha and all that stuff.
Yeah, he played it off very, very well. And so did Baron Corbin. So
yeah,
I'm glad Angle's back wrestling at Crown Jewel. We'll see how well he does. And I guess it's going to be single matches this time at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, he's part of the World Cup. So, TJ, what do you think about Angle being part of the World Cup, and do you think he might have a shot to win it?
I don't think he's going to win it, but I really did enjoy this whole return angle, no pun intended. But, I mean, the Battle Royal was very entertaining, and I actually did not read the potential spoilers for Raw. I know they were on NoDQ.com, but I was like, I'm not going to read them this time. And it turned out that those spoilers said that Kurt was backstage, and a few other people were. And just because I didn't read those, I was intrigued at who the Conquistador was. I thought it was Slater. Kurt Angle was in the back of my mind. And I really enjoyed it. Kurt Angle looked great. He did the flip. the running flip, then the Germans, and like El Virtuoso said, he did not look gassed. And Corbin, his facial expressions, top notch. I mean, this was just great stuff. I loved it from top to bottom.
Yeah, I was definitely highly sports entertained by this, and yeah, Angle looked to be in great shape, and hopefully the time off has gotten him back to that optimal physical condition. All right, so now let's talk about another big segment on Raw, which was the return of Lita. Lita came out to be revealed as Trish Stratus's tag team partner. So now instead of two singles matches, it's now going to be Trish and Lita teaming together against Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. So is this an improvement, or were you guys hoping that they would do the two singles matches? Is this a downgrade? So TJS, let's start with you. Yay or nay on the new match?
Nay. I'm sorry, but I was looking forward to Alexa versus Trish. And, I kind of figure that the reason that they're doing this is because I think Alexa's still hurt. Because she's still, I know you guys probably don't watch Mixed Match Challenge, but Ember Moon is still in her place. And I thought it might have been a 1 week substitution because that's what happened with Charlotte Flair. Becky substituted for her last season, but I mean, Ember Moon is still teaming with Braun, so maybe Alexa's she's limited in what she can do. I don't know. I think that they have a 3-hour card to fill, so merging two could be. I mean, these two matches could have probably gone 20 minutes each, and now you've merged it into probably what will be a 15-minute tag match. So, like I said, 3-hour card to fill. It's going to be interesting what other matches are added. El Virtuoso?
C. This absolutely needed to be a tag team match because you have Lita and Trish who have not worked regularly in years, and they can spell each other. It's to protect them. It's going to get the best quality out of two legends that deserve to be at this event, supported by NoDQ.com, by the way. And I'm telling you, it was brilliant. I like it. Could they have gotten a one-on-one with Bliss and Trish? Yeah, but I think maybe it could have been a little sloppy that way. This way they can tag in and out, and I like it. Everybody remembers the women's Royal Rumble with Lita? Did she look a little bit sloppy last time she was wrestling?
She looked to be like like she was a little bit maybe dropped a few pounds. I mean, she looked in really great shape.
Well, on Raw, but I'm talking the previous time we saw her in action. So I think this is perfect, and it gets Mickie James on the card too. What would she have done? You know what I mean? That's probably why they're doing this, because they want everybody to participate.
She was booked in a match with Lita prior to this.
Yeah.
Well, was that announced?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was announced.
It was announced on social media.
They did this to protect Lita and Trish, and I like that. Big G.
I'm very happy it's a tag team match, like you said. It's more to protect them and probably Alexa Bliss as well. Lita did make an appearance at MCW Pro Wrestling this past weekend as a special guest referee, and she hit the twist of fate, which looked pretty good still. She's in good shape. Trish is in good shape for their age. We'll still see Alexa versus Trish, Lita versus Alexa, and so forth, back and forth. It's a good mixture. It's going to be a long card, probably like 3 hours, and we'll see. I'm happy for it.
I like it because I think it's going to give more time now to maybe a few of the NXT women. They might be able to add a different match with some of the younger talent. So that's why I like it. I'm fine with it. And, you get the Mickie and Trish interaction now in this match, which is what a lot of fans wanted to see anyways. And, of course, Trish and Lita have the history together. So I'm all for it. I'm fine with it. All right, so now let's talk about the Bobby Lashley heel turn and apparent Kevin Owens babyface turn. It looked like a double turn. I really enjoyed this segment, as I mentioned on NoDQ Live. I love Lio Rush as the heel manager, so let's get your guys' thoughts on that. And what do you think is going to happen next? I mean, do you think Kevin Owens should go face, or do you think he should stay a heel? Big G, your thoughts on the apparent double turn?
I liked it. I think Bobby Lashley is better as a heel. Lio Rush, like I said before, I've known him from MCW when he first started training. He still wrestles, but I think him being a manager is good as well. Kevin Owens as a babyface, I think it's well overdue. I mean, as soon as his music hits, they already pop for him. They chanted "Fight Owens, fight" for him on Monday night. Yeah, they'll might boo him still here and there when he did something heelish, but altogether, I think he'll be better as a face. And when Sammy comes back eventually, they can be a face tag team.
All right. I think that's a very valid point you made there. El Virtuoso, what do you think about this? I mean, you're a Lio Rush fan.
Kevin Owens, I mean, you could put a mask on him and he'd be entertaining. So whether he's a babyface or a heel, he'll make it work. It would be nice to see him as a fan favorite, and they can genuinely cheer him and sell merchandise properly. But as for Bobby Lashley, how fitting is this? This is perfect. A big guy like that cannot talk on the mic with Lio Rush being his mouthpiece. Perfect. Bobby Lashley needed it, but the question is, Aaron Rift, what are they going to do with Bobby Lashley? Is he just going to be a mid-card heel, or are they going to push this guy and make him serious? Last time he was serious was what? In the whole WrestleMania angle, the hair versus hair match, right, with Umaga?
Yeah.
Was that really the last time he was taken seriously?
Yeah, and there was some kind of angle with Vince and some other guy. I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah.
TGS likes him, by the way.
What do you think? Well, we don't talk politics on this show.
TGS voted for Trump, everybody.
It's true.
I'll admit it. Send all your hate mail to TJS.
Yeah, direct all the. I'll just go ahead at NoDQ _ or Twitter.com at NoDQ _ TJS. That's where the hate mail goes. Anyway, this whole Bob the Lash thing. I'm still gonna call him Bob the Lash, but this had to be a double turn because you had Owens with the Tope Con Hero. He was the babyface the whole match. He was his legs were injured, and then you had Lashley giving him the chop block. You had him after the match. He did the whole legs into the post, and he was doing the flexing and the posing. And you had Lio Rush on the outside doing the Lashley thing. And I just want to say, people are saying that, this Bobby Lashley heel thing isn't going to work. Lio Rush is too annoying. That's the point.
Exactly.
Lio Rush, he's supposed to be annoying. You're not supposed to want to hear him. He has that annoying laugh.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart just said baby after everything. He's like, oh, Hulk Hogan, baby. It's like that, but it's with Lio Rush. And I hope that he talks on the mic the whole time because I want Bobby Lashley to be a genuine heel. And I think that he needs to take the Intercontinental Championship from Seth Rollins. That'd be a good place to start. Seth Rollins isn't doing anything with that title right now.
Are you wearing a Seth Rollins shirt?
I am.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
I think he's not doing anything with the title. And Bobby Lashley desperately needs it, I think, because I don't want him to flounder as a heel.
Right.
He's a hot act right now, and like I said, it had to be a double turn.
Yeah, I think it was too. And El Virtuoso, you mentioned earlier, this did feel like a Vince Russo segment with Lio Rush there on the mic doing Lashley, Lashley, Lashley. I loved it. I think he should be on the mic every week. I think it was entertaining as hell. And El Virtuoso, sorry about TJS. I don't want to see you get thrown over the wall, so I apologize for TJS.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Big G's got a red, white, and blue shirt on. I mean, you guys are making me feel at home. I like that. Thank you.
We try here at NoDQ.com.
Gracias.
All right, Big G, anything you'd like to add to that without getting political?
No, I'm good. We covered everything. Lashley, hopefully this will make Lashley a good heel, and I like TJS's idea about putting the IC title on him.
Oh, just putting the IC title on him. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, I don't get into politics.
You're a smart man, Big G. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. I think there's a lot of potential with this. I hope Lashley goes far as a heel. I like the pairing, and I think Kevin Owens as a face is fine. The fans like him. He was doing all the flashy moves. He did that big somersault flip over the top. That was really cool. So I think it's a nice change of pace. And when Sami Zayn comes back, Owens and Zayn could be a babyface tag team. So you got that as well. All right.
And,
Or
Sorry,
what
I
you
just
want to
wanted
add
to point
before we
out,
move on?
even the announcers were selling Lashley as the heel and Owens as the face because they were like, "Oh, Owens is helpless, the poor guy."
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean,
So it was pretty
the
obvious the
announce,
direction.
yeah, yeah.
All right, so now we'll talk about the main event of Raw, and then we'll talk a little bit about SmackDown here. We had a tease at the end. So again, another tease of Dean Ambrose not being happy with the Shield. Where is this going? I mean, is WWE just jerking our chains here, or is there actually going to be a Dean Ambrose turn, or is something going to happen here? Will all the Shield members turn? That ain't going to happen. But I wanted to get your guys' opinions on maybe some ideas, maybe some fantasy booking. Who wants to start on this one? Anybody want to go first?
All right, I'll go.
All right.
Uno. So here we go, Aaron Rift. They're making us think that Dean Ambrose is going to leave. He's going to want more. He's going to want what Roman has. He's going to want what Seth has. And we're going to get weeks and weeks of this, and nothing's going to happen. And that's just what I feel. Remember when Seth Rollins turned? I mean, we kind of knew maybe something was going to happen with the Shield eventually, but we didn't know it was going to be Seth. Maybe we thought it was Dean Ambrose back then. So if I would fantasy book this, if we did it down here, Lucha Libre style, we just put a mask on Ambrose, and he would just be part of the. He'd only show up with the Shield with the mask on, and then he'd be Dean Ambrose without the mask separate. No, I'm just kidding. You would just turn him heel. I mean, we talked about when he came back, it would be a good opportunity for him to finally be a heel, but you just turn Lashley heel. You know what I mean? How are you going to – can you just keep turning people heel? Is that always the answer?
Right. I mean, that's
remember the Stone Cold podcast? Ambrose came across on that as very undecisive of this is his passion, right? And Stone Cold was trying to get that out of him. If there was something inside of Ambrose that could channel like a Stone Cold, we've talked about Piper and Pillman. Gosh, that's what I would want to see. So if I could fantasy book this, it would be flat out Ambrose heel turn. I mean, and he would probably have to do something to Rollins because doing something to Reigns isn't going to make it.
Right. He's got to turn against Rollins. Definitely, he's got to turn against Rollins.
Big G, do you agree with that?
I do not agree with you. I do not. I do. You're funny, buddy.
Okay.
I love the Shield. They just got back together. Yeah, we know it's not going to be a long-term thing. They have all the merchandise. I could see them eventually, Rollins and Ambrose, or Ambrose and Reigns challenging Ziggler and McIntyre for the tag team titles, and then them winning it. That way all three members have titles. Because yesterday on a YouTube clip after Raw was over, Ambrose was interviewed, and he pretty much said he doesn't know what his place is in the Shield anymore. And then they had a segment in the ring after Raw, like they usually do, and you had Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, asking, why did he do this, I would be frustrated too if I was Dean Ambrose. You have Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion, you have Rollins as the IC Champion, and you just came back and you're stuck in the middle between these two guys. I mean, he could turn heel, but I don't want to see it, in my opinion. TJS?
Well, I understand that Dean could be frustrated, but it's not Seth's fault. It's not Roman's fault that he's not a champion. I mean, there's only so many titles. For the first time in a long time, I actually don't want a Dean Ambrose heel turn as long as he keeps away from these goofy comedy segments and he stays serious, which is what he's been up until, he did the stupid segment with the cop. But, I mean, he's been fairly serious, and we've gotten the Shield of old with the masks and the Cam promo. I've liked it, and I don't think that we're going to see a split anytime soon. I love hearing the Shield's music, and, back before the Shield was together, back when Ambrose was on his own, I would just always groan every time I heard his music because I was so sick of him and because he was so stale. But now, I'm cool with it. But if I was fantasy booking this, I would have Dean Ambrose leave the Shield, have Dolph Ziggler leave the dog pack and form their own group. So that way, it's those two versus the two left in the Shield, and then Braun and Drew, So then you have 3 teams fighting it out. I think that would be interesting.
That is an interesting idea. I would just like to see a slow burn. I want to see Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. That was apparently going to be the plan last year. I say, slowly build it up. Survivor Series, a little bit of dissension, and then Royal Rumble. That's when something goes down between those two, and then you set up Ambrose versus Rollins. But I do agree that...
Did you say Shield versus the Ascension?
What? Did I?
No. Never mind.
Are you just messing
Aaron.
with me?
No, you said dissension. I think you said descension. Sorry.
Whatever.
Connection down here.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's rough in Mexico. Yeah, I understand. You got that poor connection. You got the Jeff Meacham connection. I understand.
Oh, damn. Aaron, would you rather see Seth versus Dean or a triple threat match between the Shield for the title, for the world title?
I like it. I'd like to see a Shield triple threat at WrestleMania since we've only gotten that one match. But I have a bad feeling. I shouldn't be saying this. I don't really want to see Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns again, but it would not shock me if that's the direction for WrestleMania. One final match between those two to settle their feud once and for all. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how things play out over the next couple weeks. Let's go ahead and talk about SmackDown Live a little bit. We had a segment with The Miz, Daniel Bryan, and AJ Styles, a Miz TV, and they were all taking some shots at each other. And I want to know from you guys, who stole the show in this segment? Was it Daniel Bryan, who talked about The Miz being a 2-minute man, or was it The Miz? I want to know your guys' thoughts. TJS, I want to start with you, and then Big G.
Is this a hypothetical question, Aaron? I mean, you had The Miz, and this guy is he's incredible on the microphone, and, he was great. He made the point about AJ's title reign and how he's not headlining the pay-per-views and how the title's never been as irrelevant as it is now. He didn't mention when CM Punk held it, but, they're not going to do that. And then you had him talking about Daniel Bryan and how he's not really done much since he's in. It was awesome. I think that this was on par with the Talking Smack promo that he cut a while back. I was flabbergasted at how good this was, and I feel like Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles are just going to be baby faces, and they're going to do the whole respect thing. And I cringed really hard when they were or when AJ said, "How good does it feel to punch Miz in the face?" So, I just get tired of the whole dumb comedy thing. But Miz just did excellent. Big G, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to disagree with you. First of all, no disrespect to The Miz. I'm tired of The Miz. He needs to go make more Marine movies, go back to reality TV, do the challenge. I love my sports entertainment, but I also love my good wrestling matches. And I don't think, in my opinion, Miz is not a good wrestler. AJ Styles is, and so is Daniel Bryan. And yeah, The Miz beat Daniel Bryan twice, but Bryan beat him when it counted the most. Yeah, it might have been as Aaron called it, a fruit roll-up package. But he got the win. We're getting a dream match between two phenomenal wrestlers. And like I said, Miz can just go on into the sunset with Maurice and do Miz and Mrs. for as long as he wants.
Wow. Well, everybody send your hate mail to Big G over at NoDQ.com/Jeff, GEOFF, right?
Yes. And
right.
Virtue, if you're watching, by the way, I got something for you tomorrow on Virtue's Rage, buddy.
You know what?
Well, I'm looking at Virtue's Twitter right now.
Yeah, well, I gotta know something from you, El Virtuoso, because Virtue was ripping into Daniel Bryan. Please tell me you're a little bit smarter than that, and you're not gonna rip on Daniel Bryan. Well,
let me read this tweet from Virtue first, because this is why I think I'm on the show today. He says, the reality, capital reality, think about that for a minute, is The Miz has accomplished more in WWE during his career than Daniel Bryan has. Why? Because one, Miz has charisma, and two, Miz works safe. Is he wrong? I like Daniel Bryan, but I like The Miz too. Is Virtue technically wrong? Now, The Miz didn't get hurt, but he works safe. Big G, you don't like his wrestling? He sports entertains. He tries to keep himself healthy so he can go from town to town and he doesn't have to retire from 2 years. I respect that. He does not cop out to what fans want today. He still gives sports entertainment. They're both great. Okay? Daniel Bryan's problem is I see he can get stale to the casual fans. Watch that promo tonight on SmackDown. Him and AJ were robots. The Miz was a robot until he stepped outside onto the ring apron, and then he gets into that passion mode. That's what sells wrestling.
And
What the Miz did right there.
And the thing is, he was supposed to be robotic because he was even saying, like, oh, I'm staying professional.
Yes.
And then when he finally snapped, that's when he started doing the yelling and everything. And I think Miz is a good wrestler, but I think he phones it in a lot of the time unless it's a big match, which is fine. Like you said, El Virtuoso, he has to work it safe until it's a big stage, because these TV matches, they're worthless. So
I think matches are really good. So I think you guys are not giving him enough credit for being.
Yeah, I mean, and the problem with Daniel Bryan, I can see what Virtue. I know Virtue likes Daniel Bryan, right? I do know that I go way back with Virtue, and he really liked Bryan working with the Wyatts. If we remember that, Bryan had some character back then, and that actually set off Bryan's big run into WrestleMania 30 when he worked with Bray. So Bryan can be a great wrestler and still have great storyline stuff, Big G. It doesn't always have to be, well, let's just put him with AJ and give him 30 minutes in the ring, right? Every wrestling promotion in the Indies, Ring of Honor, New Japan, down here in Mexico City, that's what they all do, right? Everybody's trying to do lucha libre, luchador stuff. But you still need to draw the masses TV appeal, and The Miz has it.
Well said. I mean, Miz did a tremendous job when he got on the apron there and ripped into both guys and brought up how AJ is the most irrelevant champion in WWE. That was awesome.
That's true. I mean, but look at it right now. Doesn't it feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, it's taking the truth and mixing it into the storyline, which is always really fun. So anyways, we'll go ahead and talk about what Virtue likes to call the main event, and then if you guys want to add anything else, maybe we can throw in one or two more topics. So we have SmackDown 1000 coming up next week, and I'm going to put you guys on the spot. I want you guys to name one episode of SmackDown, not a segment, but an entire episode of SmackDown that sticks up in your mind the most. I'll go ahead and start so you guys can have a few minutes here to think about it. I'm going to talk about a SmackDown episode that I thought was just outstanding, and that was in 2001 when you had the TLC match that Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho won. That was one of the all-time greatest SmackDown matches. Unfortunately, in history, it's going to be forgotten about because of Chris Benoit and what happened with him. But that was just a great SmackDown, and I think that took up much of the show. That was a very lengthy match. That was one of my favorite SmackDowns off the top of my head. So anybody have one that they can go ahead and list off? Just an episode of SmackDown where you were like blown away by it. I'll name another one if you guys need a few more moments to think about it. How about that episode where Triple H had to wrestle 5 times on one show? I think that was right before Vince Russo left, but Triple H was forced by Vince to do a what was it? The Buried Alive match. I think it was, maybe not a Buried Alive match. Now I'm forgetting. It was the Mankind match, Boiler Room Brawl, Inferno match, all these different matches. Brahma Bull Rope match with The Rock. I really like that episode. I also like the episode of SmackDown with the Buried Alive match. That was the one I was also thinking of. So anybody want to share one with us now?
Was it the episode of SmackDown after WrestleMania 21 or 20 when Eddie Guerrero was the... Which one was Eddie Guerrero celebrating as the WWE champion?
Yeah, that would have been WrestleMania 20.
That's my favorite SmackDown.
Okay. TBS?
Why shouldn't it be?
Yeah.
We all want Eddie back, right?
Yeah.
So if you go on the WWE Network, which we do have down here in Mexico, You go to that SmackDown and you see Eddie coming out as a champion. Tell me that's not a magical moment.
Yeah.
Everybody should go out. Go right now. What do you guys call it? The No DQ Galaxy? Go find that on the network. Even watch when he won it at Mania. Go watch Eddie Guerrero.
All right, TJS, you got something for us?
Well, I'm going to let Big G go here while I ponder.
It's hard for me to say. I would have to go back and watch some SmackDown episodes, but I guess one of my favorite episodes would probably be the SmackDown after 9/11, in my opinion.
Well, there you go. That's a nice answer. TGS, your time is up.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the 9/11 SmackDown was great, but I mean, if I had to choose my favorite SmackDown episode, it was the one where there was the Thanksgiving, the little Thanksgiving dinner that was there, and I mean, you had Big Show there, and they were enjoying food, and I don't remember who was the guy that came out and.
Of all the SmackDowns, you picked the one with Luther Reigns as your favorite.
Yeah, that was it. Luther Reigns comes out.
I thought for sure you would have said the one with Shawn Michaels super kicking The Rock. Wasn't that a SmackDown?
That was the first one.
The very first SmackDown. That was one of my other favorites.
Numero
the very
uno.
first episode. Yeah.
Look, the Luther Reigns having the peas. That quote, "I had peas before." That it just stands out in my brain, and I believe that was arguably the best SmackDown segment in history.
Well, there you go. TGS is a man of opinions tonight. All right. So is there anything else you guys would like to bring to the table? El Virtuoso, anything you would like to discuss?
I heard you guys on your last review show, you talked about Chris Jericho, correct?
Yeah.
Showing up at Impact or Improv, whatever that other promotion's called.
Wait.
Improv.
Well,
so wait a minute.
Well,
you're bringing up Chris Jericho when Virtue's favorite wrestler is Chris Jericho.
I'm bringing up Chris Jericho because he showed up at New Japan again with a mask on, right? And he took it off, and I'm just pointing out that Chris Jericho has more creative stuff that he does. And I actually saw Virtue tweet this. Since he's been gone from WWE, just one single man doing this in the wrestling business than WWE's done creatively during that same span. He walked out with this guy named Evil as part of one of his druid, Evil Dead guys. And then Evil gets up, a Japanese wrestler, up on the ring apron, and then Jericho attacks him. That is just magnificent. And revealing yourself via taking your mask off, like Kurt Angle did, is absolutely magnificent. I mean, I wish this was live on Super Chat, and someone would say, "Hey, El Virtuoso, I'll do a $100 Super Chat for you to take your mask off."
Well, you should, because
I would.
I feel like you are Virtue, because Virtue loves Chris Jericho, and you're talking about all this stuff with Chris Jericho in New Japan.
A lot of people like Chris Jericho.
Man, I know.
He wrestled in Mexico.
Well, a lot of people out there think you are Virtue.
Yeah, I mean.
So what are you trying to say? Are you trying to make me take my hood off? Seriously.
Well,
is that what
are you Virtue?
I am El Virtuoso, and the fact his name is similar to mine is just a bunch of
fooey.
Prove it.
Take off the mask. Prove it.
I've never seen Virtue and El Virtuoso in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
You seriously are telling me to take.
If you got the balls, you got the balls. Do people in Mexico not have balls? Well, he's gonna do it.
I'm a man.
Is he? No, he's not gonna do it.
Wait.
Hey!
There you have it. I told you I am El Virtuoso.
There you have it, people.
There it is, right here. A man of many colors and masks.
It's not Virtue. It's true. I mean, I never believed it, but there you have it, folks.
I hope Evil destroys Chris Jericho to become the IWGP Intercontinental Champion next.
All right, TGS, did you have anything else you wanted to bring to the table tonight?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the fact that there was no New Day on SmackDown. Where do you guys think that they go from here? I mean, they just picked up a win over the Bar, and I mean, the SmackDown Tag Division's looking, it's looking pretty barren.
Corbin.
So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. We didn't get any pancakes. I don't know. I feel like the New Day needs some sort of direction because I don't think they need to be kept off TV because, like you said, I mean, champions always need to be on the shows.
Right.
And speaking of which, also, no Nakamura. So, so what do you think is going on with how do you feel, Big G, about SmackDown not having their champions appear on weekly television?
Well, I mean, you can't have everybody on TV, but I mean, you should have your champions on TV. Where does the New Day go from here? I mean, they've beaten everybody in the division. I mean, what do? Bring the Colognes and have them beat the Colognes as well, and that's it?
If Carlito was one of them, I would.
New Day, they've beaten the Bar. I mean, they've beaten. Well, have they beat Gallows and Anderson yet?
I forgot about them. Yeah.
Yeah. They could feud with the Good Brothers. I could see that. That'd be a good feud, I think. As far as Nakamura goes, he does have the match next week with Rey Mysterio for the World Cup qualifier match. I mean, I have nothing else to say about that.
I'm going with Rey in that one, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, you are El Virtuoso after all.
Yeah.
I just think that the New Day, they need something to change things up a little bit. They are, after all, like, aren't they like the 5th greatest act in the history of SmackDown, according to WWE or something like that? So you would think that they'll be on the show next week since it is the 1000th episode. And then, of course,
maybe they ran out of pancake batter tonight.
I did read somewhere that I don't know if it was from NoDQ.com, but they said they might bring up the Street Profits from NXT to add them to the New Day to give them a little bit more of like rejuvenation, I guess. Add more members to the Day. Huh?
We'll see about that one.
Well, maybe they'll make the New Day big like the NWO, and then they'll have the Wolfpack New Day and the Black and White New Day.
I really hope not. Please don't even suggest that. All right. Big G, is there any other topic you would like to bring up?
Well, just random here, but SmackDown 1000 is next week. Who do you guys want to see on SmackDown 1000?
Well,
not any of the names that they already announced.
Well, The Rock, obviously. I want to see The Rock on the show since it is his show, but that's not a guarantee that it's going to happen. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I think we might see a video package from him saying, "Hey, everybody, thank you for supporting WWE and SmackDown for all these years, blah, blah, blah." But I would be surprised if he actually showed up on the program. It would be really cool, though, and I think it should happen. TJS, anybody else you can think of that you would like to see?
Well, first, I just want to say, Aaron, we're not even going to get the video package. We're going to get a tweet from The Rock, and they're going to put it on the big screen.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Yeah, but obviously The Rock needs to show up, and I feel like this show is going to be just plagued with appearances, and there's not going to be a whole lot of actual wrestling, and I'm worried about that. It was the same thing for Raw 25. I was worried. By the way, isn't SmackDown getting the shaft here? They are treating SmackDown 1000 like it's not a big deal at all, and they hyped up Raw 25 for months.
Well, you got Batista.
That's the thing, though.
Until SmackDown's officially on Fox, it's the B show.
But, okay, that's true. But why is Evolution appearing on this show? They weren't even on SmackDown. I don't get it. I mean, it's just all confusing to me. Yeah. I feel like they just needed star power, so they're like, we've already got Triple H and Randy Orton, and let's call Batista and Rick, and we got Evolution.
Well, we're going to have Ray, right?
Yes, Ray's going to be there. And then
my senorita, Miss Vicky Guerrero. I will pop for her. Getting the excuse me is legendary, and I think we can all agree on that.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, and Teddy Long, of course. We need Teddy Long.
Got to make a tag team match, playa.
Matter of fact, I'm going to tweet Vicky. I'm going to make sure she's ready for next Thursday. She better be there.
And, of course, I'll be there live at SmackDown 1000
you're going there
Tuesday.
Live?
Yep, going there live.
All right. Well, you'll have to give us some insight about the show.
Definitely.
All right. Well,
Most
on that note, I think
Dude.
we'll go ahead and wrap up this edition of the No DQ review. Let's go ahead and do the plugs. Let's start off with you, Big G. Now that you're back, go ahead and give us your location to where we can find you and get on your case about what you said earlier towards the Miz.
NoDQ.com/Jeff takes you to my Twitter page. NoDQ_Big G Instagram. Jeffrey Hiltel on Facebook. NoDQ.com/shirts. I'm wearing NoDQ.com, the patriotic shirt. Aaron's got his. I got a shirt. Everybody's got shirts. Like I said, I'll be at SmackDown 1000. I'll be live tweeting during the show, and I'll be wearing my NoDQ.com shirt as well.
Awesome. At Tyler Joseph Smith on Instagram, at NoDQ_TJS on Twitter, NoDQ.com/TJS will take you to my Facebook. You can add me, NoDQ.com/shirts. You can pick up all the lovely shirts that we have there. We have Big G's patriotic shirt, which is one of my personal favorites. And if you guys noticed, Greg Cherry made an announcement regarding the future of Wrestling Trivia Challenge. I think you guys should check that video out and stay tuned because it's going to be an interesting season next time.
All right, El Virtuoso, you got anything?
No, but you can go at NoDQ_DOTCOM. I have an Instagram, but I don't use it. It's like Julio Javier Gonzalez.
Oh, okay. So everybody will take time to look that up.
Okay.
Before we wrap it up, I forgot. I don't want Virtue to get mad at me. NoDQ.com/Virtue with a small V takes you to his Facebook page, and we have Virtue's Rage coming back tomorrow night.
All right. Well, any chance we're going to get that mask taken off, that second one?
It's face paint. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not a mask, Aaron. That's a skin.
It's face paint.
Okay, gotcha.
It's face paint.
Oh, well, I tried it. All right, so on that note, we will go ahead and wrap up this edition of the No DQ review. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time.
Orale.